Hello everybody, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening depending on where you are in this amazing world. My name is Donovan Jolly, and welcome everybody once again for another amazing video of DIY investing. Today we're going to be taking a look at the one indicator that has perfectly predicted each of the last cycle tops as well as the last cycle bottoms, and why it matters for giving us an understanding when our bottom is going to be taking place today. Today we're going to be talking about the Pi Cycle Indicator, one of the very best bits of indicators that we can have to go off of for understanding when the tops and bottoms of each cycle are going to be. Today I'm going to be explaining to you guys why I believe the bottom is close, why this indicator is ultimately going to be giving us a fresh new signal soon, and what it means for the next few months of Bitcoin price action. If you're new and just find this channel, always remember to do me a favor by leaving a like, comment, and subscribing to this channel for more updates. Always remember to click that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of these amazing videos like the one provided for you here. And make sure you guys join the Discord server or download my free ebook. Links are in the description for that. With that being said, lots of cool things to cover today, so without further ado, let's jump right into it. Alrighty guys, so here we are taking a look at the price of Bitcoin. Today's going to be a quick video just simply analyzing what I have found to be the very best indicator. And of course, indicators are bound to fail. Every single one of these great indicators that we've used has ultimately failed, being one that I think a lot of people remember as the stock to flow model. The stock to flow model was the big indicator everybody was watching over the last few years. Everybody thought that it was going to continue to follow it, including me. And then, obviously speaking, when Bitcoin topped at 65,000, it really showed that even as much as indicators can be accurate, even as much as certain indicators have been proven to be accurate over the course of 10 years, they can't always be proven right, and eventually they all come to an end. And so I thought it would be a good opportunity to actually talk about the big indicator that everybody's talking about today, and that's the Pi Cycle top and bottom. Now, if you guys notice here, if we come all the way over to where pretty much we have enough data on this chart to start going off of, pretty much from the very beginning in which we've had halving, Bitcoin halvings, once we can factor that data point into the chart, the Pi Cycle graph actually shows every single top and bottom that we've had so far. We can see that it nailed the 2013 high as well as the 2013 all-time high at $1,150. It nailed the all-time low of that cycle, the bear market at the beginning of 2015. It nailed the 2017-2018 top of the bull market high. And it also nailed the bottom of that bear market low at the beginning of 2018. Once again, we also nailed the exact high at the April 2021 high at 65,000. And we're getting very, very close to getting another bottom signal that's going to be coming in here on this indicator. Now, many people are wondering, how do we know when the bottom indicator is going to be given? Well, if you guys notice this red line, notice how this red line, once it becomes resistance, we go for one big capitulation. At the bottom of that capitulation is when, historically, the Pi Cycle indicator has flashed us a buy signal. We can see that we were above support, above this red line. Once it became resistance, we had one capitulation, sell-off, and then that was where we got our Pi Cycle low indication, and once again. Now, if you guys notice here, throughout this entire consolidation in January and February, we were actually riding on support of this moving average. And we can see here that once this became resistance, we started the final decline inside of this sell-off. And so where I believe that we're at today is the same thing as here. We're at the same thing as here. It's just our final capitulation inside of this bearish cycle. And this is going to be nothing real different than what we've seen in prior cycles. The real question is the Pi Cycle indicator even going to follow, or is this just going to invalidate? And to be quite honest, guys, I find it more likely that this would end up stitching in a low. I think it's likely that the Pi Cycle low will come in here pretty soon. And it's not going to be some immediately the bottom's in. It's most likely going to resolve in a similar way that the last two have. If we come over here and get a date tool, notice how our Pi Cycle low indicator came in right here at January the 12th. But we never actually broke out of that range until about 280 days past that point. So we got our indicator, but then we went through almost a whole nother year of sideways consolidation before that next bull run even began. And so we can also look over here. We get our Pi Cycle low that took place right here. And we get a breakout from that range about 120 days. So we can see here that we always, so far, after we have been given a pi cycle low indication, we've gone through at least 100 days of accumulation. This bear cycle, all the way back in 2014 to the beginning of 2015, this was more of a longer accumulation that we've seen. If we're comparing it to the 2018 bear market, we can see that this was only about 3 months that we went sideways. And so it's going to be really interesting to see how it plays in, how we factor into where we're at today. But, you know, we did. That's funny. We literally just got our cycle low that popped in here as I'm recording this video. And so, guys, that is pretty much all that we were looking for here. We were waiting to see if we were going to get this pi cycle low. I knew that we were really close to getting it based off of what we're seeing here, based off what we saw here. And it's looking like we now have our next pi cycle low that is now marked inside of our all-time graph for Bitcoin. And so this is what takes me to what we could potentially see for the rest of the year. And that's really where I just simply think that we're going to be getting something along the lines of this. It's going to be a move like that. It'll be a move like this. Who knows the length of time? We do know that our projected cycle low based off of the 4-year cycle timeframes is going to be taking us to somewhere in November. So we still have, you know, a little bit of time here. We still have a little bit of time until we're at that specific threshold. But I mean, with our pi cycle low indicator coming in here, so far, every time it's given one of these signals, it's been the exact bottom. So if it's giving us a low signal here, even though we're not right there at our end projection for the 4-year cycle timeframes, I think that what will most likely end up happening is just a lot of sideways accumulation until we ultimately are able to break out of that range. Maybe something along the lines of this. Right, where it's not really the biggest move one way or another. The volatility just kind of dies out, and then we just kind of round out here above the previous all-time highs of that last cycle before we start that next new bull run. Like I said, guys, it's impossible to know how long we're going to go sideways, but after every capitulation inside of a cycle, what we generally will see is all of the volatility will die out. All of the weekends that panic sold are already out of the market. And so then you're starting to see a lot of people either selling and getting out of the market completely and looking onto new ventures, or while all that's happening, you have the adversaries where they're basically just going through here and accumulating all of that fear. But during that period, the market price usually just goes kind of sideways, or it'll stagnate. It won't do a whole lot. And so that's pretty much what I would be expecting for out this period of time. Most likely, we're not going to get a ton of moves inside the market. It would probably be a very low volatility. Time. And so for simply, that's just. And to make it simple, that's just what I'm going to be watching out for. I really don't think we're going to see a whole lot to get to the end of this year. You know, we did get our next major low indication. So far, inside of this indicator, it's nailed every bottom. It's nailed every single top. And so while I don't think that that's meant to be, oh, it's going to nail every single top and bottom for this foreseeable future, I still think it's an important thing to look after. You know, another bit of information that I've been looking at, you know, this is the first cycle ever in which Bitcoin actually came down and retested a previous all-time high. We even went technically below that previous all-time high at $17,500. So if this is the first bear market ever in which we've actually came all the way back down to retest a previous all-time high, I honestly just think that it's an even better buying opportunity than we've ever seen in prior cycles. I mean, this should be a very amazing buying opportunity in the eyes of most people. I know it is for me. I know that I'm doing a lot to restructure a lot of my cash that I've been just sitting on. If you got in at the cycle as early as we did, all the way back down in the last cycle when all of the cryptos were at their accumulations, you know, during this move up, had you taken just a small amount of profits, you would have had a lot of profit to go and rebuy all of these dips. And so with us now being at this really low point, I've already been accumulating all the way throughout this entire sell-off, especially once we first sold through this red line. This big sell-off all the way down to about 24,000. I accumulated quite a bit of crypto, different cryptos I was watching. And so now that we're at the low point of where I believe that most likely the bottom's in, you know, I do highly believe that we'll go sideways. It'll be a slow period throughout the rest of the year. But long term, I think that we're ultimately just going to resolve into another brand new cycle. And so it's a great opportunity to accumulate. It's an amazing opportunity to restructure if you need to. You know, bigger, and there's going to be a great opportunity for the people that just simply stick to the long-term trend. I mean, nothing has really changed when we're looking at this. This is just another opportunity to get back in. And so, you know, all of the people have pretty much left the market. All of the retail has pretty much left. There wasn't as much retail this cycle as there was in 2017, and so we're already seeing pretty much an evaporation of what little people were here. And so the people that are left over are really just angry people that are just angry in the comment section. A bunch of people that lost money and are pissed off, they don't know what to do. It happens every bear market. It was the same way back in the last cycle when I started my YouTube channel. I started my YouTube channel right here at July the 3rd. That was the day that I started my YouTube channel. And I remember that entire bear market, how angry people were, how mad everybody was. And it's really no different than what we're seeing today. The only difference today is we had less of a blow off top. And so there's really just less people that are in profit than there was in 2017. So because of that, there's more angry people in general. All we can do is ignore it. We all know where the cycle is going to be big picture. Anybody that's just simply held to their portfolios, kept holding throughout, you know, at the end of the day, you're going to be far better than the people that ended up panic selling. For me, you know, I've still got all of my long-term spot holds that I've been holding for, you know, years at this point. What does it matter for me to hold another couple years? It really doesn't. And so anyways, guys, this is the video I had for you. If you found value in this, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of these amazing videos. If you guys want to join the Discord server, download my free ebook. Links are in the description. You guys can also sign up for my VIP, follow my trades, follow all my expert picks, things of that nature. Links are in the description for all of the above. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And with that being said, I will catch you in the next one. As always, peace out.